in the pen, you can't go to lieutenants or talk to a CO by yourself.
We're standing on the compound and they come to talk. We're like, no reps. And they're like, okay, fine. And a rep will walk away and we'll talk to anyone isolated. Sometimes a couple fights, a couple people getting fucked up. Next thing you know, the compound's good. If I have some dude, like white guy like that, getting extorted by a different race, now it's like, no, fuck that. That's ours.
This Gio Martini, he's a real motherfucker.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, it's Kyle. I'm back in the studio again with my man Jason at 8UpJ
How we doing?
for another episode of 10 Toes Podcast. Jason, we
got a good one
we're
today,
almost
guys.
outnumbered here today. I mean, we got Gio Martini, who used to be a CO in the Bureau of Prisons, and his bodyguard back there, who used to be another CO.
Yes.
I wish we could have him on, dude.
There's
it's
two
fire.
In the future, he's going to be.
Dude, it's fire.
He's part of this.
Stay tuned to
It's
this.
me and him, so.
So, Gio, you used to be a CO?
Yes, I did that for 8 years. I worked at USP Victorville. Before that, I worked at Geo Immigration for 2 years, and then I was Army for 6 before that.
So, Gio worked at Gio.
Yeah.
Dude, how was that at the Geo Immigration? Is it
Honestly,
like prison in a way or no?
It kind of was, yeah. It was. You'd see homies in there that weren't politicking like homies. Like you'd see Serenos, but these are all Serenos that might be getting deported. You know, it's a different. You got MS-13 guys that are calling me sir instead of like, you know, like, hey sir, like I need help with law library. They're a little bit more like business-like because they're fighting cases and, you know, they don't want to get deported. So it's a different feel. The politics aren't the same. It's like there's no cars running shit. It's just everyone's coexisting because they're all fighting. It was weird because we had Canadians there. You had like Kenyans there, Ethiopians. You had fucking Bangladesh, like every type of country in one place.
So it wasn't divided like the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
No, it was only divided by like case level. Like if you had a low level or high level, that's all it was. You're just thrown into one place.
For security.
Yeah.
That's
makes
interesting.
sense.
So because a lot of people understand the prison system is unique in itself.
Yeah.
The feds are very unique. And some of the things that we were talking about was about how people think that like, oh, like it's ran like out here, or there's a lot of, you know, people taking people's asses, you're getting stabbed, getting extorted. Don't get me wrong. It does happen, but what percentage does it happen?
It's very rare. I mean, like, honestly, for me, I actually never saw a situation where someone got their ass taken and it was reported like that. There wasn't like no crime scene where we got a new booty and it's just like the show where it's all of a sudden there's on a bunk and then some guy reports. Like, we barely had shit like that. And if it was so under wraps that it's honestly, I don't think it was more for love, you know?
Oh, it was
You
love.
know?
I mean, you could tell the people about how much excitement you get the popcorn when a new punk comes on the compound.
Oh, yeah.
The drama's through the roof.
Yeah, you could see like the minute someone comes, like they're not getting kicked out, like someone's receiving them. Like there's someone that's happy they're there. They're not like, oh fuck, we got another one here. No, it's someone's looking around. People talking shit are probably the ones that are gonna talk to them in private. You know, it's just get passed around.
So how often did y'all bust that?
Say again?
How often did y'all bust people and they're like,
The only one that I know was one of my homies that did, and he got made fun of for that shit. So like, he was like, he goes, Charlie Lowe, it's operations. He didn't know what to call on the radio because that's kind of like, what are you gonna call for that? He says staff needs assistance. So of course he does. So what happened, motherfucker? You know, like you describing it, like, was he on top? Like, did you let him stop? Were you watching him? Like, how did it go? Did you like see first and wait till are you guys finished or I'm gonna report it? So that was the one time. Then after that, I don't know. You know, I didn't see any.
he probably did. He just didn't want to tell nobody.
So, you know, the time that me and Cody got caught in the legal locker room, you remember that? And the CO was like, fuck this.
Yeah, I don't.
and went back to the lieutenant's office. It was like, guys, go back to your cubes.
They were studying, like, you know.
That's it.
They were praying.
I mean, they knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Me and Cody thought we were done. You know,
it's more embarrassing because I'm gonna have to describe on paper what I saw.
I know, dude. Like,
you
I don't want to do
it's the end of the shift. The CO doesn't want to do any extra work. He doesn't want to be the guy that walked up on me and Cody. So
it was 9:26. I walked down the corridor.
He's like, get back to your fucking cubes and left.
Yeah.
So that was it.
He was just talking about they don't want to do a lot of paperwork. Explain that to people, because majority of people that are watching this don't understand when people are saying like, yeah, the COs don't want to do the extra paperwork. What is your term to that? So
for me, I use it as a tool. So like everyone's their house, like that. You have a lot of people that will store way too much shit at times. You know, like little nuisance stuff that you can go after, but at the same time, it's organized. So the way I look at everything like that, it's their house, and it's like negotiation wise that I wouldn't fuck with that unless there's a reason, and like it's more like anybody that gave me a reason to go in there, you had to piss me off a lot because I don't give it. There's too much shit to go in there. I don't want to search through your stuff and find something because if I have to hit your cell, motherfucker, this is going to take me goddamn 8 hours. But I also know that no matter how nice I put it back together, it's still not the same way it was for you. So it's an inconvenience of having to put everything fucking back together. So like the aspect of that is what I didn't fuck with.
So explain to people when you're talking about put everything back together, how OCD are people in prison?
They will know if you take one candy bar. They'll know that there's something missing. Like you can reach in someone there. This could all be files. You reach in the middle and take one out and put it somewhere else. They somehow know that paper's missing.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's beyond crazy because that's where we live.
Yes,
people don't realize it's a small quarters. It's all we have. It's our home. We have this whole thing saying that like we tell the guards when we get into them, like, listen here, dude, we live here.
Yep.
Like you're only here for 8 hours. And then I'd always tell them like, I appreciate you doing prison time with me. And we had a CO that was fucked up. But explain to the the audience and people that what are some of the things that would piss you off and make you tear the whole unit up?
To be honest, I'll be honest. It was never a situation where I did shit like that. But I can say speak on certain ones, like certain officers, if they ran a unit, everyone had their reasons, like if I ever had a targeted cell thing because I work SHU and I work compound, it was more like I got something and there's a reason why I'm going in there. I personally never liked fucking with anything because no matter how mad I am at someone, like no matter what, if I have to search your entire cell, it's already going to get fucked up. I don't have to do extra to it. I don't have to do anything. When I see pictures like that, it doesn't necessarily, I never fucked it up that bad unless we're looking for, hey, we got drugs in this cell, or we got all that shit. I never took that personal because there's more ways for me to get to someone's mind rather their fucking personal items because you could have disrespected me so much. I take one picture from you and that's your life and it doesn't matter what my reasons were. It doesn't matter how I articulated. I fucked something I shouldn't have fucked with.
Yeah, so the other one that I've seen a lot that I've seen people do is where the CEO, say like I pissed you off.
Mm-hmm.
You would go hit my shot caller or go hit my next door neighbors on both sides.
Yes.
And people are like, well, I don't understand why they do that because now they're mad at me. They're not mad at you. They're mad at me.
Yeah, or people hit the opposite car right next to
So you don't even
them.
got to hit the person. You hit everybody else, and then they're going to know, like, Vatrabek messed up. So now we're going to, now they're going to punish me.
Mind games, yeah.
Mind games.
Just like sometimes if I was disrespected by someone and I know, say it's a Sereno and there's 18 Serenos out there, I could be a chump and be like, well, if I do anything too loud, I'm going to get fucked up by them. But if it's in that moment that I'm disrespected, I'm going to chew them out like I would anyone else, stand on business right there. But at the same time, I could do more than that. I can take him back to the compound office. I can take him away from his homies. I can isolate him, do whatever they say that people do, or I can correct you right here. And then all the homies will stand by watching, hoping I don't do shit. And if I don't do shit and I send them back, that guy always gets corrected because they realize I just gave him, I did a favor. Because I know that they know I could have taken him somewhere else in my world. It could have been our life. We could have fucked him up behind closed doors. There's so many different elements that it was more like it was about proving a point right now. So everyone knows I can see where the politics are, but I'm going to let you guys handle this shit the right way.
Okay, just like the incident you were telling me about the Puerto Ricans on the bench.
Yes.
And so you had told me that you punished by shutting the whole rec yard down, knowing that they would be taken care of by everybody else. Explain to them what you mean by that.
So like when everyone's on the yard, no one wants the CO sitting right there watching you guys the whole time. Everyone's fucking doing business. You really don't. There's that bench for us. We could be there. We could be the whole time watching you guys do this, walking around annoying you, or we could be inside, and we're inside. The only thing we ask you don't do is sit on this fucking bench. It's out of bounds. There's a respect thing because you got the crib table here. You got the blood tables there. You got the white table. You got the Serenos. If no one's sitting there, you're not going to go sit at theirs. You're not going to sit at their table because that's ours, but you're going to disrespect us. For one, we're inside. You want us outside? So, okay, so now that you have the balls to sit on our table, we were already inside watching you guys anyways, just to see what happened. So then we came out, and because everyone knew that was the one thing you don't fuck with, I screamed and I shut the entire yard down. And every car seat, I remember the head of the Crips was laughing because he was like, hey, man, the Crips are recruiting Martini, because he was sitting on our fucking table. Every car saw that it was just that one little thing. And we were inside. We didn't even give a fuck what was going on. So I came outside just for that one moment to prove that point. And I told everyone they were going to be my compound 3. This is corridor number 2, corridor number 3. They're going to roll programs later. They're going to learn how to be COs. Yelling that shit. The next day, they got fucked up.
Yeah, no, that's how it
You
works.
know?
So I tell people all the time, people are like, do the inmates really run the prison? I'm like, we do run the prison. But at the same time, you still have to show who the real boss is.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You allow us to run it to a certain extent. Because if y'all put too much authority in, it causes too much chaos. You have to allow us to work things out with us. But at the same time, we have to respect y'all's boundaries.
Internal conflict is good. That's life. Like, you need internal conflict. If everything's always going together well, you'll never know how things manage. So even if it starts getting tension on the yard, sometimes a couple fights, a couple people getting fucked up, next thing you know, the compound's good. You know, if we get involved too much, we shut it down, we stop it. Next thing you know, there's people coming off the bus because the compound's coming. The white boys might have had 2 guys that they were supposed to smash right now, but now we're locked it down because there was too many. Now there's a bus that comes in. What if there's 10 more white guys that hit the yard and they have to get hit too? Come off lockdown, we hit them again, and we start shutting it down. Fuck that. Let it run its course.
Yeah.
Let it run its course.
So what it would take to shut a compound down?
To be honest, I think the only thing that ever happens when it comes to a body, fights don't mean shit. Like, there could be a bunch of fights, there could be riots, stabbings. Stabbings are normal. That's just part of the game. Like, it would have to be where there's an actual murder where something happens where it stops. And it's an investigation. Then it depends what type of cars. You know, like, it could be like, especially if it's race on race. If it's 2 different races, that's a given. If it's like a race riot, like a legit one, you got to lock that down because you're going to have to really sit and find out what it is. But if it's like random shit, I don't give a fuck if there's 15 fights a day. If it's not like a black dude and a white dude fighting every single time, if it's internal car shit, you got to let it handle it because most of the time, all they want to do is fight. I remember times they would ask us, if we have issues out here and we handle it, where would you guys want us? Do it on the compound, do it on the yard, and they'll fight. And then they'll get to the point that once we run there, they stop because they're just handling business. They don't want to kill anyone. Like, they act like it. They actually want us to get there. They want us to stop it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot. Now, explain to the people, because this is where it gets good. Explain to the people what you do after you lock the compound down when you hear that there's about to be a race riot.
You start asking all the people about the people that you know, whether there's verified snitches. You start pulling out the big homies. You start telling them, like, you'll say, we need this person to come to lieutenant's office.
Let's talk about the big homies real quick. What do you think about Josh Smith buying the big homies pizza?
Well, that's what I was going to get into because the reason why I got on the subject is because I want him to explain to people about how the main thing they do is, you hear it a lot, but a lot of people don't believe it. They bring the shot callers out. They bring the head guys out. They sit them down.
Yes.
Explain that, and then we're going to get into how that works. So,
it's like we're tenants, right? And we're like, we don't like that you've been
almost like you're a counselor.
Yeah, we don't like that you haven't been paying the water bill lately. And we would really like to know when you guys, what would make it to you can pay the water bill? What can we add to make it better? Or what can we do? What can we accommodate? So the pizza shit, that's literally, it's funny because on TikTok, I had an ex-inmate telling me that it's not true. The big homies would never do that. Like, I just had someone that was talking there. Like, my guy said, no, like, listen, man, I've been in R&D when they pull fucking certain guys from certain cars to go to lieutenant's office by themselves. They go and talk to SIS, and they're pointing fingers at people in their own car, saying these 2 guys that just came to the yard, if you guys don't want a problem, I suggest you kick them off. Some Whitey Bulger shit. Like, everyone just pointing at different cars. This car's doing that. They're bringing in this. And this is all the guy that when he goes out, you see everyone look at him with pride. Like, okay, he says to do this. All right. And they don't even believe that he bought pizza for them. They don't even believe that. So there's people on the lower end of their cars thinking that big homies don't do that shit.
Well, hold on. What do you mean? I thought in the pen you can't go to lieutenants or talk to a CO by yourself.
They'll try to do that. Like, say, like, we're standing on the compound and they come to talk. We're like, no reps. And they'll be, okay, fine. And a rep will walk away and we'll talk to anyone isolated. And then, like, if we want to talk to this person individually on the intercom, everyone goes back to the units. I'll just throw out a fake name, Johnson, inmate Johnson, come to lieutenant's office. You don't see him walking with the rep. He comes by himself. Comes to lieutenant's office. Next thing you know,
Victorville.
Yes. Next thing you know, the corridor's shut down. There's no inmates out. And then we're bringing him back to R&D. He's cuffed up. And then we're talking to some guy that's in shoe that he's not supposed to be talking to. And then you see 2 cars that are supposed to be beefing, but they're really friends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That really happens.
Yes.
No, it does. This is why I
Mayor
wanted
of
to touch on the
Kingstown.
thing.
Mayor of Kingstown is the whoever wrote that shit. Whoever was a part of that, there was ex-BOP inmates for that because it's so fucking spot on. Like, the way that it's ran, and then especially with at least in Victorville, they worship the politics of whatever cars can run it. Like on the West Coast, everyone knows what cars run that shit, especially on the East. It's Sureños, Mexican mafia. That's where their hands are. And every time that they've had issues on the West Coast, if we've had issues with DCs too much, next thing you know, certain people will come back and the yard changes, and then DCs get pushed out. And it's not us. All of a sudden, there's fights. DCs fighting each other. Next thing you know, 30 get cleared out because one guy came here. Now it's peace again. That person leaves. All of a sudden, he gets back to it.
One person will change the whole yard.
Yes.
One person will show up on the compound
Yes.
and flip a whole yard.
Yes.
And explain to people, what would they do? What did that one person do majority of the time that flipped that yard?
Once they get there, it depends on what the situation is. Because once they get to SIS, so SIS will tell them, this is what's going on. This is what we need. We need this shit to be orchestrated. And once everything gets together, obviously that means they're going to be able to do what they need to. So there's going to be a lot of politics that come with that. So then once they're there and they set it, their people get orders. Everyone gets orders. Wherever the business goes, business is business. Like at least on the West Coast, the whites and the Sureños, they kind of have an ally. It's kind of, if there's business.
It's almost like that everywhere in the BOP, I think.
Yes.
A lot of the Mexican families, or the American Mexican families, and the whites usually get along.
Yes.
And then the blacks are with themselves pretty much.
Yes.
That's how it usually works. But explain to everybody at the end of the day how they all get along.
It's like a business. It's almost like if it's like one of those places where there's 6 businesses in one building. Like you guys all may be competitors, but if you guys all want business to come to get to work, you're gonna have to realize you have differences. But at the same time, I've seen guys that you look like white dudes that would never talk to a black dude outside, or a
Swastika
black
on their face,
yes,
cracker bolts, the most race brand gang there is. And then you'll see them doing business with a black dude. They all get along. It's all done on respect.
They work on compound together. Yep. This dude's a Broadway Crip. This dude's an Aryan Circle. It just so happens to be that there's a lot they relate on. They work together. I remember this one black dude would call the white guy my favorite racist. Like shit that you won't hear outside. Like the worst of enemies in there can probably run a Fortune 500 company better than people out here, because they've been forced to, you have to live together. And if you live together and you're always fucking fighting, how the fuck is anything ever supposed to work? So regardless, you have to get along.
Yeah. And so that goes to show you that people don't understand is, it goes back to the inmates running the compound. I've seen where the staff allowed these gang members and certain things to do certain hustles and allow things to happen just so the compound would run in an orderly way.
It's just like in SHU. When you have orderlies, like I know for a fact, you're going to everyone, they're going to every range. You're hearing people yell. There's shit passing. When we go and smoke, like tobacco falling on the ground, there's little hustles that everyone has that it's like, of course I know that they're doing this shit, but I'm also not going to be super cop 24 hours of fuck. I can't stop all that shit, because I stop you, the next person does it, the next person does it. It gets to a point where all the little shit that's going around, you realize there's a lot of peace going around. Like this, you see little businesses, there's no reason to fuck with it if there's no violence, there's nothing going on. It's just peace.
So we have certain staff, and you'll touch on this, walk a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so he would love to come on, and literally, I swear to God, he would not sit down. And all the other staff didn't want to work with him.
Yeah.
Because he always caused problems for that staff. And they were just like, sit the fuck down. Like, stop. Like,
Yes.
what is your problem?
Yes.
And it causes, other staff problems, because now the inmates are getting mad. Now they're getting hostile. Now you're causing tension.
Mm-hmm.
All these things go on, and people just don't understand it. And I explained to them, I'm like, when I start talking about like the whites had their own TV, the blacks had their own in Spanish, and then the gangs between the rooms, it's all divided in race rooms, and then between the races, it's divided in gangs. And these people in the streets are like, what do you mean? Like, how does it work? I don't understand. Like, that's racist. Is that? And I'm like, dude, everything it's just society. It's just how it works in there for everybody to get wrong. They cannot figure it out. When I tell them this, and this is the weirdest thing about it all. On the street, that same person will be out here talking about, man, that's racist, messed up. That same dude will walk in prison and then be like, what's up, homie, dog? What's up, man? Dude be walking around, hey, what's up, bro? My favorite racist dude. But on the street, he's going to be like, bro, that's, acting crazy. But as soon as he goes in prison, he knows, like, this is normal.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, if 50 people walk into a room, it's actually easier to divide it by race. So you can have a bunch of people talking. Like, you have 6 Mexicans. What if only one guy can speak English? Right? Like same thing. Like you have whites, and if everyone just goes in, like a white, a black, a white, and a Mexican, everyone walks into a room and there's one chair, and one guy goes, that's mine. No, that's mine. No, that's mine. No, fuck that. that you have to kind of piece it to where you're like, you know what? We all want something of this, and it would make sense if we split it up amongst, because why would there anyone get favor? Why would this person have more when we can all have an equal amount? And when it gets to equal amount, everyone has their own hustles. If it works in the feds, like you'll see different cars work with each other. If it makes sense, it makes sense. And that's how they all do it, whether it goes to hustling in commissary, hustling in laundry, barbershops. I know in state they have like certain where it's race shit. I know in the feds, it's more like if there's a hustle that works and there's nothing that's going with politics, everyone works with each other.
You know, get back on that. So usually the people that run the compound, you know, have the most hustles is the locals. So
Yes.
wherever the prison's at is usually that. And the BOP tries to keep. So you were from the area y'all worked at, right?
Yes, I'm from Victorville.
Okay, so the thing is, that what blows my mind is normally you do not go to the prison where you live at. They usually move you around to keep you from having control in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
And, you know, so because they want to keep you moving. And we had a warden show up to Yazoo, Mississippi, and they wanted to change it where there was no race. So he come from a USP. And then all of a sudden he wants to come to a low and talking about, oh, we're not going to do race rooms no more. You're going to get put in with whoever and we're going to switch it all up
I know that shit went to hell.
fast.
Yeah.
And I think it was an experiment is what they do it for.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you ever been in the shoe and seen the colors peel off the wall where people peel the thing. And there's like pink, yellow, a light blue. And
Oh, yeah.
so I asked the CO, he'd been in there for 30 years, I said, what's the deal with this? And he was like, dude, they do experiments in here. He says, he goes, I've heard it's not proven, but he's like, the federal government experiments on the federal prison system.
Yeah.
So the colors, each color they put in a room, they study you. It'll make you mellow, one make you go crazy.
The
He's
new
like,
one I think is pink right now that they're big on.
really?
That's the Norway shit. I know when Colette Peters was stealing, that's what they were talking about, getting rid of shoe,
Colette Peters is an idiot.
having pink rooms where like it's like a crazy motherfucker goes in there and he goes, you know what?
I
life's
like this
different
pink.
now. Yeah, I'm better now.
I feel
Fuck
much
it.
better.
Why was I doing that shit?
That's why our walls
Yeah.
are pink and blue.
Yeah, fuck, get rid of shoe. Just put him in the pink room. Once he's done, he's good.
So my next question is, what kind of inmates do you like to deal with the most?
Like
Killers,
killers.
short timers, lifers, what? Like, explain to people which ones give you the most problems and some of the best to deal with.
The ones that give the most problems are usually, so on the West Coast, at least in Victorville, if you're on gang time, especially at the pen, by the time you get to your people, it's probably rare that I'm going to have any issues with you, because the way, if you're on gang time, you get there on the compound, you're kind of quiet, you're not starting shit, you're already trying to look for who your people are. Why start shit with me in R&D? Why run your mouth on R&D if you're on real gang time? If you're here to like, you know your people here, it's the ones that are like different cars. Like if they roll with DC, if they roll with the Midwest, if they're not technically part of gang shit, they kind of, especially if they're younger, they don't really have anyone that's controlling them. So they think if they come here and run their mouth, this is how it's supposed to fucking be. They're loud and all that shit. Like all the dudes on gang time, they're yes, sir, no, sir. Yeah, they just want to get to where they're at, and I'll meet them later on. It's usually the ones that have nobody to go to. They have no structure, no big homies, no rules. Like when they walk into a unit, certain people, like they'll walk up with blankets. They'll say hi to you, like, hey, how you doing? Welcome in. Some guys, they walk in, no one gives a fuck who you are. And certain cars are like that. Like I know DC's, like you'll walk in, or you're from the South, you're from the Midwest. They walk in, no one says what's up to them. They just walk in, they go to the CO, where's my cell? A fucking homie walks in, a Mexican dude, a Sereno, you'll see all of them pop up. You see the white dudes, all of them pop up. Bloods, Crips, like they'll pop up.
What does the Mexicans do when they take them back to the room?
They take them back to the room. They fucking give them all the shit they're supposed to.
What
They
else do they do?
They give them 20 days, or they give them like a certain amount of days before them to fucking provide paperwork.
And they strip them down butt ass naked and check all their tattoos. I
Yes.
used to see that shit all the time.
Yes.
And I was like, so the very first time I seen that, right? A bus came in, was first president, and I see them like these three Mexican dudes butt ass naked in the room almost. They're in their fucking, they're boxers, dude. And they're like, you know what, pulling them up and stuff. And I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to be rubbernecking or whatever, but like, what the fuck is going on over here, dude? And he's like, oh, dude, they're checking them. They're checking them, making sure that they're not trying to be a paisa, because it's not a paisa yard.
Yeah.
So they're checking their tattoos, make sure they're verified and stuff. And I'm like, what?
Now you could see just from our office, like if a white dude walks in, we can tell what type of white dude. You know, like there's certain, my favorite ones would be the white dudes that would hit the yards and they had something questionable on their jacket and you could see it on their fucking face. You know, and I say the white dudes because they can't hide their fear.
No.
Like, and it's usually because they're more than likely a sex offender and they're walking in with that face and they're kind of like shocked. And I'm like, That's a white guy that's not going to be here long, and I'm
They
all
don't
here
go
for
left?
it. Huh?
They don't go left?
No. So there was
Do
one.
y'all
they
warn
called,
them in R&D? Do they warn them like if your paperwork ain't good, guys? I would suggest
That's already given. It's the feds. It's more like if you want to take your shot, go ahead, man. It's more like if you don't, you're going to be locked up forever. I don't know if you like that or not, but there's sunshine out there. There's a yard, there's sports, play basketball. You never know. They might let you go.
So, dude,
They're not going to let you go, though.
No, but here's the thing about it.
There was a guy called the Diaper Man. That was his
God.
nickname in Vegas. And somehow in R&D, he told them he wanted to try it out on the yard.
How long did he last?
I think it was like a couple of days. I will say that he made it to my unit that night. I don't give a fuck anymore. I was on overtime. I was at the 1. He came to the I just remember him walking in. They said, "Hey, you got this fucking chomo coming in. His name is Diaper Man." And I'm already mad. And I see him walk in. When you look him up, he looks like that motherfucker. And I remember him sitting around the whites, and I'm like, this is an FCI. So I'm like, why are they kind of like, you can see this dude's a fucking, I can see it. And I'm just watching.
They have that missing chromosome look.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, he comes up and he goes, hey, some of the guys were talking about like you have to like check into a lieutenant or something. And I'm like, yes. We do that at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So like you have to wait in when they say check in. You're gonna have to wait and go into the morning when they call the first move. And he got fucked up that night. I don't know what happened, but I wasn't there for that.
So how often do y'all get excited, or not say excited, but like knowing he's fucked up and he's going on the compound? Y'all just like, oh my God.
That's
like,
a show. Like if something like that, I mean, come on now.
Do y'all bet like behind the things like he's going to last 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
That one, yeah, because that's why they're like, hey man, like R&D say, hey dude, this is what this guy is. He says, I don't give a fuck. He's trying it out here. Like watch out from the window and see if he makes it inside,
I mean, the R&D officers, like, dude, are you sure?
That's their choice. In the feds, you can't forcibly lock them down unless they're like it's a verified separatee. Like if they're like verified witness protection, it's your choice. Like you get there, like, do you want to go out to the yard? And if they say yes, it's yes.
Kyle, we had a female at the 1. She would walk through. So these guys, so she'd walk them. So when she was on, like she'd let them know. She'd walk them to the room and taking her clipboard and fanning herself. Like he's hot. Like she was letting them know, like, hey, because she was letting her people know, like she'd only do it for that race. I'm not going to say what race, but she'd walk down the thing. She'd fan herself, like letting them know, like, hey, this dude's hot. He ain't no good.
And you see him come off the bus. I mean, I like every now and then I'd go back there just to see, and like you see certain ones and I'll just smile and I'm like, hey, what are you in here for? Just right in front of everybody, And then it's always a bank robbery.
Fraud.
Their head, like their head
Fraud.
goes down. Yeah, fraud. So
Looking like fucking Ian Bick.
Yeah, like exactly.
Dude, that's fucking funny, dude.
Poor
so,
Ian.
you
So
know
let's
that-
talk about that for a second, because
Yeah, I
you know
know.
there's a lot of static. We did a video. You hear about last night?
No.
So let me tell you about last night. We're one of the only podcasts in America that actually typically takes care of the hotel, right? So Gio gets here and their plane is late. It's like fucking midnight.
Yeah.
And so I booked them across the street at the Motel 6, like we always do. And I prepaid. Like they took my money already. It's like $400 because it's a big weekend. And so we get there at fucking midnight, and the dumbass motherfucker in the room is like, we don't have any rooms. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We paid for this shit already. So we call hotels.com.
Not we, he and him.
I did. I called hotels.com. I was on the goddamn phone till 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
throwing shit in my office.
He named off every hotel in Florida.
Screaming. And they're calling, and it's Art Basel weekend in Miami, so there's not a room to be had.
What?
So they fucking stayed at my house.
Oh,
2
yeah.
ex-BOP officers.
Oh yeah.
So I put it on my
I was
on
at
my
a halfway
status-
house. It's halfway house.
On my status this morning, I was like, yep. It's like 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock count at my own fucking condo because these guys were here.
You know, the thing is, you're talking about the Ian Bick thing. How often have you ever seen another race extort another race?
Never. I've never seen that shit at all.
So, I mean, we've talked
That's
about this. I've
bullshit.
even talked to Ian about this. The reason
He
Ian
fucking
got
lies,
extorted.
dude.
No.
Yeah.
The
He's
reason,
lying.
listen, it's not that. It's
The
not that.
reason why I won't go on his podcast ain't no goddamn white boy. I don't give a shit what it is, dude. I'm not going to be on the unit or on the compound and you allowing another person. I'm going to run you off the fucking compound. I got my paperwork to prove that I've checked paperwork and ran dudes off the compound.
Yeah.
And let me explain something to you, Kyle. Whatever white boys are there or something's fucked up or he did something,
I'm
then
gonna
they
tell you what
oust
it is.
him.
I'm going to tell you what it is. Ian went to prison when he was 20, right? He made a boatload of money when he was 18.
Doesn't
19.
matter.
Hold on. and he walked the yard like he had all this money. So he set himself up to be
But
extorted.
I would run him off the compound. Is that right?
Yes.
If you're not going to allow, that's why it's great to have
Yes.
him. That's never going to happen.
And then honestly, if he was gonna get extorted, he'd be extorted by white people.
Yes.
Like if I have some dude like white guy like that getting extorted by a different race, now it's
So
like, no, fuck
the
that. That's
reason-
ours.
Yeah, that's
the
ours.
reason.
Yeah.
So me and Ian have made up now. Kevin Lanning.
but-
But let me tell
I
you the
get it, but
reason. Let me tell you
He's
the
lying
reason.
and he's coming up with this reason for
so,
you.
So no, I came up with the reason.
I know,
came up with
but
the reason.
I'm a white boy and I've checked people in. I've gone to the shoot. I'm telling you, I'm not going to allow that to happen in my unit.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
because
allow that to happen
that
on the
shows, that
compound.
shows weakness on the car.
Because
So
now
you're-
the
you're-
whole car
okay, so
is,
here's the thing.
is the
you
whole car
can't
is
let another car
jeopardized.
check your own
This-
people,
this
even
is
if he's a
exactly-
bitch or
This
not.
is
There
how
you
this
go.
come up.
Yeah.
This is how this came up, right? I had a client, 60 years old. He's still there. He's at Fort Dix now, and he's good now. But he was a self-report,
Mhm.
and he was my client a year ago or whatever, like when I was beefing with Ian, and he calls me frantic because it's like a week before he needs to report. How much money do I need to put on my books to pay for protection? I'm like, Doc, you don't have to pay for protection. You're
Yeah,
going
that's
to
not
Fort,
even a thing.
You're going
Yeah.
to Fort Dix Low. I mean,
Yeah.
you're there with the mobsters. I mean, I got guys. You're not. Ian Bick says you have to pay for protection, and he has more followers than you. And that's when I went nuts. I'm like, dude, Ian didn't have to pay for
I'm
protection.
just telling you, he's lying, dude.
It doesn't work
So,
that way.
To get back to that, the whole thing is that you were going to say another race. It shows weakness. It
Yes.
becomes a problem. Now the whole compound knows these white boys can be what? Extorted now.
Yes, imagine if it was a Sereno, right? Just a regular, just to go by that car, Sereno walking into a yard, and then all of a sudden some
Right, 'cause he
Crips
says
start
that the
extorting
guy-
him, and now he's having to pay money to the Crips, but he's a fucking Sereno.
So I see what
His
you're
homies
saying,
aren't
'cause-
going to let that shit happen.
Right. The
'Cause
white
now,
boys.
now
the
the
white
white dudes are going to be able to roll up on me
Yeah.
and be like, since you're allowing
That's-
this, now you're a bitch.
Because he says
Yeah.
it's two black guys from D.C., but the white boy should have taken care of that.
Dude,
That's what you're saying.
I would have went to the dudes and been like, "Hey, listen, I'd have went straight up, found their shot collar,
At
and
a
been
pen,
like,
that
"Hey,
would not
bro,
happen.
no. This is our people. You can't extort him. It's gonna become a problem. Now we're gonna take that. Now I'm gonna extort him
Yeah.
to stay on the compound,
They
but I'm
extort your
not.
own
I'm
people.
letting him go because this white boys don't do that. Everywhere I've been, we don't. I don't know how it works at the pen, but
No,
we're not gonna allow it.
That saves it from riots because
Yeah.
if everyone was pulling from a car like that, then it's more like everyone is flipping.
Yeah.
The whole point
So-
of it is to be separate.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Because we did a video. Me and Gio did a video this morning talking about him staying at my place last night, right? And he's wearing that T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I
here it's fucking
cross post.
Trauma lives don't matter.
Yeah, they don't
I
matter.
cross post to all the different groups like I always do, and I get a call from Jeff Henson at the Legal Advocation Center, who runs the BOP Fed Support Group or whatever. 10,000 people on it. He said, the people are bitching about this post you just put with Gio Martini wearing that shirt. But in my thing is, and they said the same thing about Aaron Pila, because Aaron Pila wore the
It
exact
doesn't
same
matter.
shirt.
Them people, we do not ever bend a knee to them people.
But it
I would
doesn't
lose
matter.
1 million people to protect 100% kids.
Yes.
Anybody
Kids,
that
right.
will say, call
Yep.
me and say,
Don't matter.
that shirt offends somebody, I don't want them around me. I don't want them to talk to me. You know
Facts.
what that tells me? They will touch my daughter.
Yes. Yes.
That's what that means, Kyle.
Yeah, there's no way
Straight
to accept.
up,
That's unforgivable.
that is unforgivable, okay?
Yeah.
Just like a white boy. I'm going to get beat off a yard before I let a white boy. And I'm telling you, anybody in the comments can say whatever they want. He is jeopardizing me on a compound now, okay? So
Yeah.
that is causing me, because once they see that they can extort one white boy and the rest of them are allowing it, Kyle, they're going to come after every one of us.
Yes.
I agree, but so
Yeah.
back on this, right? I didn't take that. I agree with you, right? But the position that I took is it's fucking America. You can wear whatever the fuck you want,
yeah.
which is why I'm wearing the hat now.
Well, now they're making an excuse for them, kind of trying to call them minor attracted adults. Like, fuck that. Like, that's unforgivable. Like,
No.
that one time isn't, and it's the same thing on the videos. If it's the videos, if it's whatever the fuck you were involved with that shit, Chomo lives really do not matter at
What
all.
race extorts all, or exposes all of them? What race? Only one.
The whites.
Okay. So let me explain something to you. What do the Mexicans and the Latinos do with theirs?
That one, I don't know. That's
They extort them.
Yeah.
They put them to work. They hold the knives. They do the lookouts.
Yeah,
they
that's
put
a
them to
fact.
work.
Yeah.
They allow them to live with them. But they allow them to live with them. They allow them to stay in the group.
Oh, the
but guess
Pisces,
what?
yeah,
They put them all the work, okay? So they put them to work. Blacks, do not oust them. Don't put them to work. They
Yep.
don't do nothing,
They don't do
okay?
shit,
They
yeah.
don't do shit.
Yeah, that's a
okay?
fact.
It is what it is. It ain't none of my business what other races do. But let me explain something.
is
The
a fact.
whites, we oust ours. We do
Yes.
not play with this shit. That's
Yeah.
why I
The
stand
minute-
on that.
yeah.
We do not. And we find out, I swear to you, dude, it's so bad.
That's why when I say that you hope that people still have good morals, when you get a Chomo PC and you have a white dude that PC'd up because he's not good on the yard. If they're good on paperwork, you hope that that guy still has morals when that PC gets put in with him, for shoe shit.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong. It's nothing like it's against the law. And the feds, they want them to have cellies. They want them to have cellmates because it's like, if
Because then you can't be Epstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, that's why they did it, because somebody lied, because somebody hung themselves in the cell and they made me cell up. So in the shoe, you cell up with your own race. Okay.
Yes.
So I was the off number and I was the orderly, so I had my own room. Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna get
Yeah,
talking about
that
this
was
orderly
again,
stuff.
yeah.
So I got my own room. But once this one person did this, it was mandatory. Even cellies or orderlies had to have somebody. So
Yes.
there was no white dudes go in. And the only person else, they contacted one of the main guys on the compound, that who can I cell up with? And they're like, the Mexican family, because this is at Oakdale. So the only family I could do it was the
Yeah.
5 families, the TS, Mexican Mafia, Aztecas. So the TS ran the compound. So I went in with Cheeseburger. Okay. So he's the head shot caller for the whole compound. He was in the shoe because they were shipping them all off the compound. Something happened. It's none of my business. So they were like, listen, you need to bring me his paperwork. I watched the COs walk my paperwork down to the shot caller, hand it in there, and give it to him to let him read my paperwork to make sure and send word on the compound that I was good before I can move in the room with him. And let me tell you, I got treated so good because even on the compound there, I'll never forget, I had to live with the Mexican family before I went because there was no white rooms open. So I had to go stay with the Mexican family. And when I tell you they treated me like their own when I walked in there, treated me
Yeah.
like their own, and we have to do the same thing back, okay? It's just how it works.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And nobody can live with the blacks,
Yeah.
but the whites can with that, and the Mexicans can live with the whites, all this crazy stuff. And when I tell these stories, people are just like, what? Like, that's not how, like, normal people. I'm not talking about prison.
At 4 cities, Serranos used to feed the whole goddamn unit on Christmas.
Yeah, but that's the thing that people need to understand. Even the white supremacists, even the black supremacists,
Yeah.
they feed everybody because at the end of the day, it runs off of what? Respect.
Yeah.
We all are. They all racist in a way, but they're people take racist as hate.
Yeah.
In prison, these people are wearing swastikas. They're the head of all the biggest racist gangs. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
What are they racist about?
They're just racist about staying to their own.
That's it.
Yep.
They don't care about who you are. They don't
Yeah.
care who you are.
Yeah.
They, long as
We
you
stay
do
to our
yours,
own.
all they want is that they believe in their culture and their thing, and they
don't
want it to
interfere
stay.
with ours. You won't interfere with yours.
Exactly. But they don't say, I hate you, and every day I wake up, I want to unalive
Your
you.
table's right there. Ours is right here. What's up, guys? We're just not sitting
They
there.
shake hands.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the damnest
So-
thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
A lot of people know this from different social media groups and everything, but one of our clients is a general from the ABs who's at the ADX. And he's probably one of the nicest people to me.
Well, I
the
asked
whole-
him.
in
I
the
said,
whole
"Who do you
country.
like doing time around?" He said, "Killers and lifers."
Yes. They've already accepted where they're at. They're at, like, honestly, as you get older as a man too, you on the outside, you start noticing what bugs you more and what you're going to be able to deal with. Like when you're younger, you kind of put up with shit more, like say women, like certain crazy shit you'll allow, but as you get older, you're like, fuck that. That's too much. Like that's too much bullshit. The longer they're in, they start getting to a point where they set into it and they know that, okay, this officer, I know that if I say this shit, that's the type of officer that's going to react this way. So if I know I talk this way, he's not going to react that way. That some officers, they like getting their fucking egos rubbed. And the lifers, all those guys, they've been maneuvering for so fucking long. Or even honestly, the jailhouse lawyers too. When I heard him say during the COVID lock, or when we weren't getting paid during shutdown, he's like, dude, if I was them, I wouldn't want to be doing shit either. So I'm not going to ask them. I'm not going to ask them for shit. You know, it's not that you have to do that, but you're kind of thinking outside the box a little bit because of the fact it's like, they don't want to be here either. Like, I know we're on two different sides, but if you can think like that, you're going to do fine outside. And the lifers and the people that have been in there, they have long periods of time. It's almost like they finally get the program. And honestly, I believe if you let a lot of them out, A lot of these lifers,
They would do nothing.
I swear to God, they run Fortune 500 companies better. I've learned a lot from, honestly, I learn more from talking to ex-inmates than I ever do staff. You know why? Because we hate on each other the most. And a lot of us, our experience is right here.
Yep.
This guy fucking had 80 boats. This guy fucking, we're over here like talking about like the credit shit that you guys do. And I was laughing and I'm like, you know how many fucking cell searches I've done and I've solved those plans?
Yeah.
You know, all the things that you guys do. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably take this home and learn how to fix my credit. Fuck it. I'll do it some other time. You know, it's all in front of our face. But there's all these guys that run businesses, but we just don't see that shit.
Explain how smart some of these people are.
It's honestly,
I mean, it's the feds, though.
Him right here is kind of just explaining what all of it is. I mean, it's just like if you have nothing but time, like the dudes that always use a law library, like they used to piss me off, and not to piss me off, it annoy me in SHU because it's like, goddamn, here we go. It's easy.
They know the handbook better than you do.
Yes, but why not? Why wouldn't they? Like I feel like I would be like, I think about, yeah, if I'm sitting there and I have nothing but time, I would be wasting it if I'm not sitting here learning all this shit. COs, we're just like, I learn the policy as I fuck up.
What are that? And y'all play on your phones a lot when you're free time like that.
Yeah.
Explain. Oh, a lot of people don't understand. Jailhouse lawyers are actually better than most lawyers, and lawyers have never met it because who's the #1 winning person in the Supreme Court? An ex-inmate, federal inmate. They did a movie on him. They did a documentary on him. He's won more rulings in the Supreme Court than anybody else has, and he was a federal inmate.
And I think it has to be
out of DC, I think.
It has to be the correlation of time.
No. So they learn it because they study all day. See, attorneys are in trial. They're doing this. They got life. They got this, do that. They copy and paste. Inmates are where? Jailhouse lawyers are where every day. From the time the first move to the last move, where are they at?
They're in the same place that they're in jail.
And they have their own seats, their own computer, their own everything. Like they own it.
Yeah.
So they study it. So another thing that I wanted to ask you about is the creative things that inmates do. And people blow their mind when they see videos how we make battery packs for phones, tattoo guns, water guns, the things that we make. And people are like, how they do it? I'm like,
honestly, to me, it's always the food. I don't give a fuck. Like how they have the bunk. They'll like scrape off all the fucking paint. They'll turn that shit into a flat grill. You know, they have the stinger hooked up to the light, and you're in there, you know. And then there's some dickheads who's cooking in my unit. No, I'm like, is that a quesadilla right there? All right, which one haven't you touched yet? That's mine. All right, you guys have a good one. I don't give a fuck. I ate that shit.
Yeah, we fed
all
them.
the fucking, or like the dudes that had fucking way too much commissary. I had so much stamps. Every good officer at a pen has fucking stamps. It's just, you know, you fucking, that's how I pay my orderlies. I pat this dude down. He has way too much. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're not supposed to have that much. And then it's like, you know, you're paying the orderlies. So then it's like,
explain who else they pay. They stamps.
They're snitches.
Okay.
Yeah, we pay our snitches. Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand this too, is there's too many stamps on the compound. The COs that take some to keep, and it fluctuates the currency.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? I'm like,
they can't get mad about it.
They can't get mad about it because it actually brings the currency back up.
And it's like, oh, this is a grip right here. This will fuck you up, huh? If I take this, you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit of this just to let you know you're welcome for that one. You could be in SHU right now.
So, and then that's how they pay the snitches. So whenever they need to pay orderly snitches or do extra things to do, that's what they keep them. They have them sitting there and they pay. They put right back on the currency back on the compound. And I'm just like, dude, this is crazy. But you're right. The food, one of the best pizzas I've ever had is in federal prison. And you know what? It was made in a mop bucket with a stinger. People are like, what? I'm like, a fucking mop bucket.
All the cookies, like, dude, I knew in the pen. I knew where they kept the quesadillas that they would sell in the fucking in the chow hall. Like when you come out and you come out, I want a quesadilla. They go. I knew where they're at. I go on there, just get my quesadilla, bro, and I go back out and stay on compound. I just my oatmeal cookies. Like I ate there, bro. I had my we had White Boy Wednesdays, burgers made. Like fucking.
You know, Rudolph used to. We would be we'd be cooking with the iron.
Yeah.
And Rudolph and Shepard would come down, and you know they'd tell us to put the fucking iron back or give them whatever it is we're cooking.
Yeah.
And Rudolph would come and just take it, and by the time we reached the end of the range, we would be done eating.
I ate flatbread made by an Iraqi woman in Iraq stomping on it, you know, like their fucking feet. That's the way they made it. It was fucking bomb.
Yeah. So
who cares if there's pain on it? I'm probably dying from that anyways.
So, you know, it's crazy. So he's talking about the iron. So a lot of people understand we get some type of a tin foil and we wrap it and we press it and we burn it with that. So in the lower custodies, we have microwaves.
Yeah.
So I know no more, but what we do is we wrap it in like a tin foil and then we wrap it like 5 times in newspaper so it doesn't have the, blows the microwave up. But it creates a static in there and fries it. It's the craziest thing. Like inmates, I'm just
They
like
turn like top ramen
where-
into burritos.
Dude,
like,
it's crazy.
yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking like, where the fuck how did they come? But when you got that much time, because we watch you, we know every move you do, we know everything about you. We're watching. We literally have nothing else to do all day besides watch and learn. And when I used to sit, my first time I was at where was I at? I was in transit somewhere, and I heard him scratching every night. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he says, you see that hole in that top bunk? I'm like, yeah. He said, they're cutting knives. And I'm like, how the fuck do they cut knives? That's thick metal. Toenail clippers.
Yeah, just
take a toenail clipper and they sit there and scrape because the cutting edge of a toenail clipper and you take that bitch and it will cut metal.
Yeah.
So Benefiber, if they take Benefiber and they make a stencil and they pour it in there and they put just a little tots of water and they keep doing it, it'll harden into a fiberglass knife. Then they sharpen that bitch.
Yeah, and then what we do to try to match it, like if we're doing if we see like the initials where it's carved out, you'll have someone with a Sharpie write the date that they found it and take a picture. So then if it changes from that, if that way we'll know if it's that person cutting it out. You know what I mean? But that's almost impossible, bro. Like everyone has a fucking shank in there. You know, like the way that the places they get, especially Unicor, they go on Unicor, motherfuckers are coming out with tomahawks. You have no idea. You know, like it's just like I'm not gonna sit here. I know that if I wanted to, I'd find some shit that I can probably go to war with, but I don't. It's everywhere in there.
Yeah. Have you ever been compromised? Like tried to inmates?
No, because
inmates never ask you to do anything.
No, because people give off a vibe. So the officers that do, honestly, when I walked in, the way I walk in everywhere, I walk like I've been there before. I'm not really intimidated by the environment like that.
But I would ask you though. You know why? Because if I can get a spark of conversation with you daily, hey, what's up, man? Gio, what's up, Martini? Hey, what's up? What's up, Jay? Woo, woo, woo. After a while, I'm gonna be like, hey, Martini, what's up, man? Hey, start messing with you. I start throwing little things out there. I start feeling you out, see how you react.
See, I like mind games. So like me, I'm on the same. So to me, I'm thinking I don't ever trust people. So when I meet someone and they tell me that they've done the way that you done paperwork, the way that you check up, the fact that you know a lot about me before me even getting here, that's how I think. So if someone's telling me something at face value, I'm already trying to find the kinks in it, and I'm already not believing what the shit is. So I can tell when someone's buttering me up because I do that shit too. If I want something from someone, I know certain situations how I know how to tell a doctor if I want Xanax or not. I've been to rehab twice. You know, like I know how to convince someone that I'm okay. I know how to convince someone I don't have a problem. So when I'm really thinking like that, I'm not saying that that's an easy skill, but people that have been through shit in life, I just sense bullshit. So it's not that I wouldn't say I was above reproach. It's just that, I mean, fuck, like when like Dotson, my old orderly, like Bumper, like it was always business. It was always business. I've been on 2 teams against them. Like things have happened. It was just more, this is just what it is. If we were outside, I'd probably fucking walk past you in the store, not even give a fuck who you are.
Because everybody I talked to about you was like, dude, he's fucking cool as shit. And they're like, but boy, he loved to suit up and boot up and go in. They're like, he loves that fucking action.
It's fun. You know,
and they're like, but at the same time, he's the same way on the compound. He's the same way every day. And I'm like, what? And I was like, because I watched your things and I was like, I got to get to know more about him.
I walk into a room and I see my boys and I'm like, what's up, faggot? I'm saying the same shit to some inmates that I know. And then people don't understand. They're like, you can't talk like that. But at the same time, I always tell people where inmates really see where we are is I could be talking all this shit to you guys by myself with my partner. We're badasses. And so the compound guys come around. How are they talking to us? Are they ignoring us? Do we look like chumps? Are they making fun of us? The inmates will start seeing how we treat each other. And if you're getting treated like shit by them, you're really not shit. So then people would see how I am. I'm making fun of us more than anything. If my warden made a stupid call while I'm on compound, I'd say, fuck no, we're not doing that. If a captain wanted to change things, if I'm in SHU and I'm running compound, we're not doing it. And we just had the right amount of people, and I just always stood on business. And that way I see it is inmates that really do their time in there, they're always standing on business. So why am I going to be the one that doesn't? I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah. So did you ever call an inmate a faggot?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they didn't get mad?
No.
What's some of those? So, because a lot of people
it has to be the scenario. So, like for one, like I was
no scenario for an inmate at all can say bitch, faggot, or none of that. When people are like, "What?" I'm like, dude, you get so many warnings when you first go in. When you're green, they give you so many warnings, and after that, they're gonna smash you.
I talk so much shit that the way that I operate is a lot of things. Like certain officers, if they walked in, they would get offended by the way that some talk. Like it's more like one inmate was like, man, Martini, you need to get your weight up and start doing push-ups with me. And I was like, dude, see your legs. You don't even have ass, you fag. Like you don't even do squats. And it's just like that. And it's like, what the fuck? I'm talking about random shit to where it's not, I'm not insulting you. It's just more like the same way I talk to him.
Well, what's so crazy is this is what blew my mind. I'm like, how many times you been to prison? And they're like, no. I'm like, I bet you, because they're telling me. So everybody always asks me, what's one thing you changed about prison? I said, prison politics. It's so outdated. They set you up for failure.
Yes.
And I'm like, you literally will go on the streets, just like I told you about the guy tomorrow. That's racist, but he goes in there and he doesn't call it racist. Okay. But then it's like he gets home and he's gonna call his friends a bitch, punk, fag, and all this other stuff. But meanwhile, when you go in prison, well, bro, you can't do that. And it's like, what? Like, okay, I get it. And then between yards you go to, it changes. And I'm like, dude, everywhere I gotta go, I gotta learn a new set of rules, new everything. And, and it's just like we were talking earlier. As soon as a new shot caller or a new person comes to the yard, they'll flip the whole yard, change everything. The politics, how things operate, how things go. And
we'll try to have that with incoming captains. So Victorville's one of those places where, like, if you get promoted up, they're like, hey, be careful of those guys, because it has old school legendary. It has back to Lompoc days where you got people from like the 90s, back when Lompoc was really rocking, and then and that comes from Alcatraz. There's a lot of history that trickles down. And then, like I said, there's a lot of combat vets. So like the way that it operates, it's almost like, I don't want to say that we operate the same as inmates, but at the same time, it's mirrored to where it's like, there's like a mutual that we might go to combat kind of feeling, but we don't want that, and we just get along.
Who runs the compound on the staff side, the upper or the lower? As in, like,
we do, like the lower.
Okay, the lower guys. And the reason why I say that is because at Yazoo, I don't know if you heard about it.
I'm gonna say that again at Victorville. The compound fucking runs that shit. There should be no administration running anything ever. If you do, if administration runs that place,
they fuck everything up.
You're following their politics. It could be whatever that person's beliefs are. You're not following the rules of prison. You're following what that person thinks how this place should be.
And they don't know how that every prison's supposed to be ran differently depending on the compound. Who's running it and what's going on. So the reason why I want to bring this up is because Yazoo, Mississippi, I don't know heard how wild that Yazoo is. I don't know if y'all heard. It's the Wild Wild West. Like, when I tell you, out of prisons, it's one of the sweetest places you could ever do your time back in the day. Like, I had a cell phone, I had everything. Only thing I didn't have was Atlanta. I had everything. Atlanta's wild too, but Yazoo takes the cream of the crop. Okay, so the thing is so every time you get these new wardens in and all these new people, they fuck the whole compound up. They fuck the inmates up, they fuck the staff up, everything. And it's just like, they come in here and they want to make a name, make it themselves. And then everybody, the staff looked at us. We were like, yo, I was like, such and such. I don't drop names. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what's going on with this new thing I heard? And they're like, y'all don't got to worry. Dude, staff straight up to us, y'all don't got to worry about nothing. We want y'all to lay down. We're going to buck on them. Because they brought a special warden, assistant warden, a captain, and something else. They brought in a special team to try to clean that compound up because it was so out of control. The staff said, sit back, shut the fuck up, and let us do it. We're going to run him off the compound. Dude, within 4 months, they had that fucking warden gone. I went to see, I said, damn.
The smart ones, it's almost like, I think about it, say if you're like a big homie and you're coming to a different yard with different soldiers, you just came from somewhere else. Every one of these people are still amped up the same way those were. They just don't know you. A smart person would see how you can use all that to your advantage. So if you're going to a pen, what you're saying, you got a bunch of knucklehead officers, a bunch of, they love action, they love all that. Cool. You can actually talk to them to say, I really love all that shit. I really like all this, but you can take those people down slower. When those people are up here and they already have things and everything's working, and you come in and you try to meet them at their high level and butt heads, you do that anywhere. If you try to force prison politics, if we were like, fuck that, no more inmate politics right now, we're going to stop it. That's never going to fucking happen. The smart ones, you start talking to them and say, there's some things that we would like to change if you guys could, so things will run smoother. We know that you're going to keep doing this shit, but there's a way that we can do this where we don't get hurt, you don't get hurt, and we don't get fucking locked down anymore. Yeah. So there's a way that
does it take pizza to do that?
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
But I don't know why they're getting so much hate on that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it was clever.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it is because if you're going to bring the heads in, you're going to ask for something, and you're having a meeting. What party meeting have you ever been to? They don't accommodate you with something.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to say I agree with how he did it because you're asking them to do something. He wants to change the compound.
And it's
So
whether-
he shows up and he
it's
wants to
still,
change
there's
it. The
no-
best thing to set up is to accommodate and say, hey guys, look, let's eat some pizza and let's have a talk. It's like playing golf.
The way he did it was wrong, though.
Okay, I don't know how he did it.
The way he did it, it was like a slap to where no one knew. So it's like he came in there. It was kind of like someone walking into. It'd be like
so he
it'd be
was
like me
publicized,
coming
okay.
here and me having my media team for your guys' shit and have them show how I'm doing stuff at your guys' place and changing it instead of letting
Yeah,
everyone
but he's
know.
the boss. He can do it.
But at the same time, like I said, a smart person walks into a place and he knows the type of people he has. You got to get them to feel that they're a part of it too. So
Yeah.
everyone has this feeling that he walked in there to go talk to them and go give them pizza, and we'll talk to you guys at staff recall on Friday. I got to see the pen, the 1 and the 2, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys at the end of the week. And the reason why I know it happened like that, because he talked about me making fun of that in there. It's the way he did it. I understand when it comes down to it, you can never stop prison
he should have had the
politics.
team of the prison there at the
Yes,
table.
and then
Okay.
filming himself doing that, like all the staff, they found out by on the outside looking in. No one was
Really?
around for it. So like, they're like, hey man, I heard this. Can you find out? That's how it got to me. Like it wasn't like a situation where hey, let you know he's coming here. That's why everyone's calling a pizza party on our end. They're calling it a pizza party because no one knew about it. And then even there's inmates talking on TikTok, not believing that shot callers would fucking do that. But at the same time, it's easy to get them to go to the visiting room. You're like, hey, come to the visiting room. And then there's pizza there. And they're not going to be like, no, we don't break bread. Of course they're going to fucking eat it.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they?
So you were saying about how the shot callers and stuff, and explain to people what gang or shot caller you think has the most pull in the BOP.
The Black Hands, Mexican
Hands.
Mafia.
And then we're going to say this. I was at Yazoo USP in the shoe because they had locked me up. Somebody called in and said I was going to escape. So they had automatically shipped me over to the USP shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever a pen opens, a brand new one, there's no order. Everybody's fighting to have order and control of the yard. Okay.
Mhm.
People don't really understand, and I don't understand the full understanding of it, but every gang has power over their gang. But there's usually one gang that controls the say so over the whole compound. He doesn't control that gang, but he controls the compound. He has the most power.
Yes.
So when they brought a black hand in, and I'm like, what's a black hand and how's this work? I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And so later on that I seen, he's running the operation from the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
He's running the compound from the shoe. They haven't even let him go on the compound yet because they want to make sure. I don't know why their strategy is. But I heard at Victorville, there was a black hand there that literally pretty much if anybody wanted to do anything, they had to clear it with him pretty much.
Because like the way I look at it, it's almost like how private prisons exist. Like, okay, what kind of prison are you needing? I have this company that we can do immigration. Okay, cool. Build it up. I got all these people for you. The way it is with them, it's like the Mexican Mafia has everything down to a T from how they're running things. It's so soldier based. The way that the inmates work out, the way that they follow their orders, the way that they look at things. It's immediate. Like when some of them walk the yard, they have like 20, the black hands, the big guys, they have all their people walking around them at all times. They're nice. They say what's up. They smile. They have all their people around. So the way that they show force is militant. It's the same way that in the Army, when we're doing presence patrols in a town, when we're showing force, the way that they put themselves together and they show force while they're doing that. You could have a compound of 300 blacks, but none of them are walking together. But you have 100 Mexicans right there and one black hand. All 100 are walking around him.
What kind of shock factor was that the first time you seen it?
For me, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a shock factor because, I mean, I'm Italian, so I kind of grew up on that history of all that. And I've always kind of paid attention to that life because the military it mimics that. Like, we'll have our captain that's going to come talk to the local people. Then you have us guys that are standing right next to him, that kind of shit. So I respect we may be on opposite sides right now. If he says we're going to have to fight to the death, I just know that might happen. But at the same time, we're cool right now because this is the conversation. So to me, it was almost like it was level grounds where it kind of felt where I know that we are kind of on the same thing. We don't want to die. We already know what we respect. Let's just fucking make this shit work and go home. So like, I didn't really look at anything like that because I understand why 20 people surround him. I mean, fuck, there's some dudes that have been in Iraq, certain dudes that are like real war heroes. When I meet them, I look at them the same way that these dudes probably worship this guy because this guy's been a Mexican Mafia man for fucking 30 years. You know, a lot of people you hear about, they either snitch out or die out, and you know, you got some real motherfuckers that till the end.
How many guys did you see that were big in the organization and get beat off?
Honestly, for Black Hands, when I was there, I have not.
Never seen it.
The only one that I saw where a guy got pushed off, but we had him in shoe, and he didn't have any, like the little homies, they still gave him shit. Like because he was a Black Hand, the Sereños in shoe, they'd still pay tribute to him, they still gave him shit, but they didn't speak, they didn't have the authority on that politics to do shit to him. So he may have been, you know, he may have been no good by them, but he was in shoe already. So they got him away before anything happened. So I never saw any of that.
Yeah, because the reason why is I didn't realize we were talking about how gang guys, how they classify them, and how he was talking about how he walks in and he's like, oh, there's 1 point because he's got this, you know, like, oh, another gang affiliation, da-da-da-da-da. I don't understand how that works. We'll bring him back on to talk about it.
He's on a different level with that
he
shit.
Did. It was pretty sick. Because the reason why is I was at Oakdale and there was a TS there, and he sent a letter to the pen because he had to get, he was being treated, they were getting treated fucked up on the compound by the CO. Like one of the lieutenants was doing really bad.
Yeah.
So they sent a letter coded to the pen, and their head shot caller went to SIS and was like, listen, you better get shit checked down there or shit's gonna pop off, because it caused a big problem in our unit because he was in my unit. And they went and got brought him in, brought all the team in, they locked him up over it. And I was in the shoe already. I was the orderly. So I'm sitting in the shoe, and now all of a sudden they're classifying him. And I'm hearing that they're going to classify him because now he exposed himself to having power to be able to write somebody in the pen, because where their shot caller was at, and know the strategy and the coding and everything else. Somehow they labeled him as a lieutenant. And they automatically, if you're labeled as a classified, actually verified, you go straight to the pen.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of gang members, a lot of people, I didn't understand this. Everybody claims to be a gang member, but most of them are not. What is the percentage they're verified, you think?
Honestly, it'd be.
I don't think there is. I think it's very little.
It is.
It's hard to verify because most of them just say they're affiliated.
And the younger ones are getting smarter by that because the older ones
they're
are
not
telling
getting
them
tattooed.
Not to. Yeah, they're telling them not to. Like even the identifiers, you know, like they may be tatted up, but they have no identifiers like they used to. You know, but that's how they're blending in, and then they're adapting the way they talk too. Not everyone's talking the same way. Some people, if they weren't inmates and you met them outside the way they talk, you'd think they're from like a rich community. You wouldn't. Like everyone has this misconception of what people talk like. I've seen some Sereños that talk like they have PhDs. You know, they may have tattoos, they may look a certain way, but people are fucking smart inside there. They just maneuver a different way.
It's cat and mouse.
Yeah.
You know, because I do videos on like hidden spots in the rooms, and like, you know, we do this, we had our phones here, we do that. And people are like, man, you're fucking snitching and telling. Explain to the people that you already know every hiding spot.
Oh, every single one.
There's not one that you don't know about.
Like everyone talks about, like I think it's like the Nevea, like ocean, like the cream, where like you twist it enough and eventually there's like a false bottom. Every single fucking thing that you guys come up with, all it takes is one guy found it eventually.
Yeah.
Someone told him, be like, hey, he has it inside this weird cup in there.
False walls.
Yeah.
All this. Listen, you know about them all. It's cat and mouse, and it's just, we have to get lucky every day. You got to get lucky once. You're not always looking.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to find it, you'll find it. To be honest with you, it is what it is.
If I found shanks on everyone, there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah, there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
So, but my thing of it is like, where do you think you get most of your intel? Like, everything that goes on that compound is coming from where? From you doing work or coming from rats?
It's coming from rats.
Okay. See, that's what I would explain it.
Because the true ones you put in there's this guy, we called him a Godfather. This guy has had like histories, like he's from Lompoc back in the day. He was a CO for 27 years. He's one of those dudes, when he looks at an inmate, if an inmate has something, they start getting scared because they know who he is. Not scared, they just already know. Like he can see their vibe, and every single time they have something, they have drugs, he has that vibe about him, and that's not a skill that most people have.
That's crazy.
But that's just something that he does. He walks in, he does little head games where people are like, whoop, whoop, because that's what everyone does when we walk in.
Mm-hmm.
He'll put his hat up, he'll look at someone that looks like he's staring too much, and he'll put his hat up and he'll look right at him, and he'll be talking and be like, hey, look, see this motherfucker, why does he keep staring at me? And we'll keep looking around, and that guy starts getting scared. Next thing you know, he moves, and he just did that shit all the time. So people like him existed, and we would just see it all the time. Me, like people said, I like the action. I do like all that shit. I wasn't looking for drugs all the time. I think about if I was locked up, I'd probably be high. You know, like I think about I think about, honestly, I just wanted to survive, right? So like if I know that every dude walking by me had a knife, I might fight him. He probably has a fucking knife. If he doesn't stab me, oh well. I'm not looking for that shit because I can find 10 knives right now. 10 people are not going to be in shoot. There's only probably going to be 2 because the other guy said it was theirs. You know, like.
Now, when it comes to like, how should I say? I don't know if you felt it, COs do, but when there was tension, you could almost feel it. Like I would literally come in off the rec yard and didn't know something was going down in the unit.
No one's
walk
intermingling
in,
anymore.
Everybody's intermingling. Everybody's off in the corners, and your people are like, "Come on, come back here." Mexicans are all over here.
Everyone's
Blacks are here.
side's exaggerated.
And you're sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, put your boots on," everything else, and you're like, "Fuck, oh my god." Or it's just that you know it's getting to that point and you can feel it. Do the COs feel it too, or y'all don't feel it?
It's the silence. You always feel it. Yeah, it's just like I heard Aaron talk about when he heard like the keys shaking, like he's officers running. If he's in a room over there, pick it up. Yeah. Oh, okay, my bad. But like if he's in a room over there and he's like talking to an inmate, I'm still like kind of in the back of my mind. I hear that. If his keys shake too fast, that might mean that he's going like something's happening. He might go, so we'll run to see that, but it might be he just dropped his keys when he was moving them. So then like when you feel the tension with inmates, yes, especially during chow. Like in chow, when you see chow, the pizza, Little Caesars, fuck yeah. Why not Costco? Yeah. But it's the feeling of it. It's, you can tell like everyone will intermingle. There's always the certain people from every car that they're always talking to everyone. They're bouncing around. They're the ones silent. They're over here. They're over there. You feel it. It's because everyone stops talking.
So Eric Spears is bringing pizza to the shot callers right
Hell
this,
yeah.
right this very second.
Fuck
Pizza
yeah.
delivery.
Right this very second.
Where's Josh Smith at? Pizza
Where's Josh
delivery.
Smith? We're eating pizza.
Hot and ready.
Hot and ready.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
hell
That's
I'm fucking
funny.
hungry as a motherfucker. Thanks, Eric.
I
That's
got
funny.
plates too.
Fuck yeah.
That's funny.
We were going to feed you guys at 2. We're going to go to Tiki Tiki.
Fuck yeah.
So, my thing of it is, I'm gonna put that shit off right now.
Nelson, we done fucked the whole studio up, bro. Damn, it is hot as fuck.
What So my whole thing of this,
I thought y'all brought plates in.
right there, right there.
Give me a plate.
So my whole thing, I'm gonna let that shit cool down. Is I got to see a lot when I was in the shoe. Okay, so when I was in the shoe, and you're getting to hear all the gossip and everything else. So when I was the orderlies, when I got put on game, because my orderly room was right by the little, what do you want to call it? Cubicle, the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would get to hear a lot of the gossip and the stuff that was coming in.
Oh, hell yeah.
So my room was right there. Most people didn't know that was my room. So when people get brought in, I'd hear them start like, it wasn't me, it was such and such, they got this and that, and SIS would take them to the room right there and question them. And I'd have my head up against the wall because I could hear it through them. There's no insulation. I would hear them talking. So I would go back down the range. When I was handing out trays, I'd be hitting kites, throwing kites in. So it's so funny because I was feeding it. I didn't say nothing out loud. I mean, writing notes, and I knew what tray to put it in because I set the trays out. So I'd put markings on the covers to know that this tray has to go in this room.
You know what's funny? Those are my favorite orderlies. The way you just said that.
Yeah.
Because
They just brought pizza for the shop.
they know everything. So like the ear hustling, I already know they're doing that shit. Especially when someone comes in for one, it helps because I'm already asking this dudes for sizes of shit that I don't even. Like, I already know the orderly's right around the corner. He probably heard that this dude's a rat. He probably heard all this other shit. I don't give a fuck. He said he needs this jumpsuit, all these shoes. You're listening to him. So then everything gets handled by the orderly right there. I already know that he's going to talk to 18 different people. I know that someone's going to need socks because he talked to him. But I also know that he probably passed some shit for him. I know that he's so entwined in it, he's never going to ask me anything. He's never going to be in my fucking business. He is going to be in my business, but I won't know about it. If I don't see you fucking hustling around me or trying to be around that shit, I know you're around. I don't give a fuck that you are. It gives me a reason not to look.
So one of the things that I feel like a lot of staff do, they know we're ear hustling and they drop stuff for us to know. So they'll say things out loud for us to pass it on. So in the shoe, when I became the orderly, I had no choice but to do this stuff. Okay. So they would tell me in the rec cages, off the thing when they knew they could talk to me, whatever, because, they fish kites. So when I go to my room, I have to fish kites back to my room, and they'd be like, hey, Jason, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. They give me my rules, things I need to do. And with me being an orderly, I automatically sign up for this. I have no choice.
Yeah.
People are like, you do have a choice. No, dude. Like, I live in this world. I have to make this world work, okay? I'm a part of the team.
Yeah.
So even though that it's putting in work, but not putting in work the other way. You know what I'm saying? This is my way of my...
Now, you're
that
making
they're telling
money.
me
Like,
they're
we
putting
know
work.
you guys are making money from that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
so the thing is they would literally be like, hey, Jason, we're going to put a kite in this thing, but we need you to take it out. This kite has to be... So they would fish it to me. I'd put it on me. I'd bring it out, hide it in my room, okay? So whenever the trays, I knew that, okay, they checked them already or they haven't. I'd have a way to slide these kites in things. And I'm like, dude, how the fuck? I'm like, how do they know that this kite's coming? He says, listen, dude, the people in there, when they see this shit, they know like it's their job to pass this note on.
Yeah.
Because if it was their people or their whatever, they want it passed on too. So I'm like, damn, like me, this is fresh. You know, my first compound, I'm like, dude, this is crazy how this operation works. But the respect that I got from making sure the operations worked, and I never dropped those kites to COs and never got COs. They never got to make sure it happened. And I know the COs knew I was doing this.
The stupid orderlies that we had were the ones that when they would get too full of themselves were like every day, like we'd let them take some shit back. Maybe they had some extra trays that day, like, but all of a sudden their bags are getting bigger and they're like, and then certain COs don't give a shit. So now you're like cuffing them and they got like 18 bags they're trying to drag back to their cell. Now it's like they're getting too much and then they'll get hit every now and then. It's like you found every single fucking note that you're supposed to pass and it's just all on the fucking table. Like, obviously we're going to clean house eventually, you know? Yep. The stupid ones get in trouble like that. And then that's when you get the one activated guy in our crew that we've been able to sit down for a while. See, I told you guys he's fucking doing the shit. Well, there you go. Now you got that for 2 months now because now you pissed him off.
Yeah, because, you know, the staff would come into the kitchen. They would cook sausage and eggs and all kinds of shit, and they'd make me stuff in there and everything else and cook up. So some COs do it, and the other ones would get mad why he's doing it to me. And, you know, like, feed me. But he would tell me straight up, he's like, you don't think we don't know you're doing something? He goes, the only reason why we haven't done anything because we haven't seen you do anything.
Yeah, that's
he said, so
no
he told
shit.
me, so he told me, he's like,
no shit.
If you think for 1 minute, because he came in there and told me, because I don't know if they got word of a note on the compound. Something got out that something out of the shoe came out.
Oh, it's always in the food cart.
So he came to me and was like,
it's always in the food cart.
He told me, he says, let me explain something to you, Jason. He says,
food cart or laundry
I want to
cart.
let you know the reason why we're letting you do it because you haven't showed us nothing. He says, but don't think I don't know you done something.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, what the fuck happened? So something on the compound, a note got out, and something happened on the compound that got back that the note came out of the shoe. And somebody told. So they came straight to me, and I almost lost my orderly job over that.
See, the only people that get the credit are the SIS guys. So that's another thing. Like, it's not like we're gonna get cop of the year. You know, like it's never like, and I'm not saying not to enforce the job like that. That's a given. It's just that it is so rampant that if you already say that there's 100 inmates in a unit and there's 2 of you, you're wanting 2 guys to look at all 100 like that every single time and kept absolutely everything. The only way for you to really manage a situation like that is to know where everything is happening. So when something does happen, you know who the fuck to take from to make a reason, to make a point, because you've been watching this entire fucking time. Don't ever make it to where I have to prove what I know.
Yeah, but the problem of it is I disagree. You would never be able to police it because we adapt faster than you adapt.
So, yes. So, like, for me,
as soon as you start putting pressure on me one way, they're automatically, these guys already know 20 other ways to get past you. You know all 20, but you don't know what 20 we're doing.
So that's when it comes down to person. So this new guy that I'm having an issue with, say he's the hustler in the unit, and he's been giving me problems that it hasn't worked. I'll hit him. And the difference is, yeah, they can move everything, but he's just up and coming. And he's trying to make a name for himself on that shit, and he's trying to move for these people. And he fucked up already by putting himself on my fucking note, because I don't even look for you like that. I'm not searching for shit. You already gave me an attitude when I said something. You talked to me like if I say, turn around, for fucking what? Like, why the fuck ask me some shit like that? Some people will come in with an attitude of wherever they came from, that it's just like, if you're going to talk to me like shit, don't expect a professional answer back. I'm not working over here. Like, this is how I am. So it was more in a situation. Some people get out of line where they think that they can do that. So it's like, if this guy is going to think that he can talk to me that way because he has a hustle, I'm going to take that shit. And especially because I know where he's a low man on that shit, and it made him look bad on their side when in reality, everything has been working until you got here. Everything's been working until you got here. Now you just added something to it.
So it's funny you say that because one of my hustles, so I was never allowed to work in facilities because I went to trial. So I always told them, like, you fuckers kidnapped me. I didn't come here. I didn't sign a plea deal to do time. I didn't sign a plea deal to fucking work for you. I didn't sign a plea deal to get out of bed when you tell me to, so go fuck off, right? So I would cause a lot of problems with COs, but I did it in a nice way. And they understood.
Yeah.
They'd be like, watch me get out of bed. I'm like, I didn't sign a duty time. And they wouldn't give me too hard time. But in facilities, they would make me work, so I would get fired instantly by, making hidden walls. People snitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just tell. I never got busted doing, but they tell like no other.
Yeah.
But my other hustle, and he'll tell you, is I talk shit to the police.
Yeah.
But in a nice way, like I get in their faces to just, I was a decoy, and I got paid to be a decoy because I was so smooth at just like fucking with the CEO. And they come in and be like, Bully, what's up, man? Come here, bro. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you could ask them, and I would just be 100, like right in your face.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, my loudness, me being that way, automatically put everybody on point. And they'd be like, Vachbeck.
I was the OM cook at Montgomery for a while, and it was like the Kyle fucking Sandler comedy hour for 4 hours a day.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the OM.
Hell yeah.
And like some of these diehard officers, some of these asshole officers. I remember being in there one time and making all the officers laugh because we had this one Lieutenant Eaton who's a real piece of shit, and I
hope he was fat with that last name.
He said he was a little bit fat, but he said some shit to me. He said some shit to me, and I was like, just remember, man, I'm here because the judge made me be here. You're here because you can't get anything better.
Yeah, yeah. I went to Glencoe, man. It's when you got all these guys, you got ATF, you got ICE, you got all these people in shape. They're marching everywhere. We got this 365-pound lop with green hair. From the BOP. Yeah, like I remember like when I took I don't give a shit. It's the worst academy. I was infantry, so I went through like a real what basic training is, but cops have gone through a real academy. Dude, I've seen 400 people somehow pass the physical fitness test, and there's no fucking way. I remember I was still hungover on my last written test. I had to cover one eye so I can see the answers right, and I still got an 88.
So we had this one officer. He was a really nice officer, Officer Wilbur at the Butner Low, right?
Wilbur?
Yeah, Wilbur.
Oh, of
but
course.
He's fat as fuck, right? Like 4 or 5. It used to take this guy. He'd start for evening watch, but that's the 4 o'clock shift, right?
Yep.
He'd start. He'd get to the He'd get to the front office at like 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And it would take him till 4.
Yeah, we had a bunch of those.
To get to the fucking unit.
We had one officer that the inmates would clap for him when he got there because they knew he wasn't doing shit.
We did that
He would roll out to the middle of the unit during count time, and he would tell the upper tier to stand at the window because he couldn't get up the stairs.
And so there was this one. They laxed up a bit, and from I think it was 3 to 5. From 3 to 5, we could be like in the middle of the yard. It's so low. In the middle of the yard, so not regular moves.
Open compound.
Open compound from 3 to 5, right? So Wilbur's coming up at 2, and we'd go to the fucking unit and get cups of water for him to make
Ours
it all the way
passed
up
out
to
on the
top.
fence trying to get to the unit. Yeah.
So,
but we're like, how the fuck did you ever pass a physical exam to get this job?
Do you have a pulse? Because they always talk about like fucking it's a hiring, that they're having a hiring thing. I mean, come on now. There's not too many people in this world. I mean, look at this podcast. There's some people, if you pulled them in here and they'd hear us talking, they'd be in a corner afraid because it's a world that they don't understand. So it's pretty hard to recruit people to come into a world like that. And really, I'm not saying they get paid shit, but it's really not enough if you really want to do your job the right way the whole time. It's not fucking worth it to do it like that for how much you're getting. Now, if you're getting $150,000 a year easily with no overtime, you're going to be motivated to fucking find all the cracks in the walls. When you're getting fucking 55 and then you're getting 100 for the year, but that's all because it's forced overtime and you fucking hate this place and you're around shit all the fucking time. Do you want to go through everything and find all the little fucking holes where they're finding shit? So
they want you to, though.
Yeah.
Like, they literally get onto you.
No, they want you to until you do. And then when you find too much, they tell you to slow down.
What?
Yes. Because you're doing too much because where are we going to put them?
You know, another thing.
If there's 280
Do you
cells.
remember, were you at Montgomery when the warden was giving out $50 gift cards for finding cell phones? So they had a guard that was going to Walmart and buying the free phone.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. Getting the free phone and turning it in for the $50 gift card.
So imagine you only have 280 beds and you have a riot and you have 400 inmates. Like, obviously, you're going to ship people somewhere. You're going to whatever. But some people are just going to end up where they're at. They're in the fucking unit. So then, like, when it comes to knives, we may only have 3 empty cells right now, and I just busted these 2 inmates, and each of them had a knife. There's 4 people in that. 1 might take the shot, 3 get kicked out the next day, or we might just say there's not enough, and we'll find out later. So then you're like, do the knives matter? And I know they want you to find everything, man. Like, I worked at a fucking penitentiary. Like,
but they teach y'all that we're scumbags, because I used to have the CO used to talk to me all the time, because like I said, my hustle was to fool the staff. Or not, let's say fool them, but after a while, because as soon as I get up and I do that shit, they're thinking right away, like, watch me, what you got? Get up against the wall. Boo, boo, boo. They pat me down, right? After a while, they realize, because, they adapt just like everybody else. Like, this motherfucker's a decoy. So as soon as I come in, I start yapping, they're like, man, Vachbek, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, but I already warned everybody by yapping.
Yeah.
So I already did my job. I'm getting paid. So, but my main question to you is, when they pop off the whole compound, I want to word this right, because I want to know if there's training for this. Have you ever been where they hit the deuces in this unit,
and then it goes to
as soon as y'all
another
start
one?
running, then this one hits, this one hits. Do y'all know right away now whatever last one is where they're hitting the guy? Because normally they pop them units off before so they can get more time, because y'all are worn out, of breath, because y'all are running from unit to unit.
So when we hear it, so the way it works is like, everyone will have it different, but this is the way I like it. So like at the pen, you have number 2s. Let's just say that. And say there's 8 units. You have 2 officers in there. If a fight breaks across the yard on a different unit and it's fucking 5 Alpha, that's why inmates will get mad when we lock it down, but you never know. 5 Alpha, that could be a race riot right there. But the distraction could have been over here on the other side, and we were trying to get everyone to run over there, and there could be a guy dying here. So the way it works is, if it's 6 Bravo and you got 3 units on that side, the number 2s will respond to go over there just in case they need extra, and the officer in that unit will start locking down the unit. So they'll lock down the unit just in case you need a secondary response. So if everyone just goes to one place, everyone gets hurt right there, then eventually, if it keeps going everywhere, you run out of bodies. So then when you have each person controlling down each one, then it becomes targeted. If you hear 5 Alpha, you hear this. Well, we have Shu, that secondary response that's waiting with weapons. So then you have all these people. The way that the pen was, at least we were, our response time is fucking immaculate at Victorville. Like everyone, it's immediate like that. So the training, it has to be situational based and prison based, because a lot of times that shit just had to be there for it. Like it wasn't like if this happens, you run through scenarios, right? And then there's also other ones where, what if the number 2s leave, right? And they go to help this other unit, and now this officer's locking down that unit by himself, and now he's alone. So then we adapt that. We're like, no, never mind. From now on, if there's a fight in this one unit, we still need both officers to stay in this. Lock your unit down first, and then all the responding staff that's going over to that unit, if there's more, well, you guys just locked it down, and now we have 2 in this unit, 2 in that unit. There's so many ways you can play it.
I've watched them run where everybody's running to one, and as soon as they get in the doors, this unit pops off. Bow! And then now they're running across. Dude, they get halfway and they're like,
yeah.
And then whoever they're targeting, they got full reign now, because there's only 1 or 2 COs there.
And that's why I say it's situational based, because like at least at Victorville, it's active. So it's almost like these are situations that's happening over and over in a different way. And then I don't know, we play the scenarios a lot, it's just kind of, one of our lieutenants would always say, if you're not thinking of the worst to happen here, you don't belong in this fucking job, especially at a pen. It's not saying you want it to happen, but if you're walking around here every day thinking that you can't die, that there might be one moment there's a race riot that you didn't know about. We don't know everything. It could be one situation where some guy bumped into each other and it's the wrong guy. He hits the wrong person, and then it just turns into fucking hell. You never know.
No, most of it happens right away.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, why are you not a guard? Why are you not a correctional officer anymore?
So I made a page called Good Verbal, and all the shit that I was making fun of, the fat officers, the crooked officers, I was making fun of Dublin when they got in trouble for sleeping with the female inmates, that Warden Garcia. I posted a meme years back where it said, I took Orange is the New Black, and I said, why work outside? Why date outside when you can work in prison? Just prison Tinder, just swipe left and you'll get a new inmate. I'm talking shit about him, and that got to Colette Peters because I was putting a lot of highlighting about the bad shit of the Bureau as a meme page, and then DC came down and they investigated Victorville. over that. My page made the newspaper 3 times. They said I was racist and misogynistic, which is all bullshit. I posted a meme where I have this big black dude next to Justin Bieber, and it says, when a DC meets a chomo. And like, if anyone knows in prison, like when the DCs get a chomo, they go to town.
Yeah,
we know that.
But see, no one else knew that, and they spun that, and I had to go to court for that because they're saying that I was calling the black dude a chomo, and it's like, yeah. But see, people don't know that, so then I had to fight that in the beginning, and then I ended up
some more of
resigning.
this freedom of speech nonsense.
Yes,
I mean, we're in America.
It's gotten bad, but listen, I'd love to have him back, especially with his boy over there.
Yeah, I'm down. This is
it'd be cool because he's got a whole nother aspect of this.
What do you do now?
Right now, dude, we're both doing security right now, and we're trying to do this full time. That's the goal. That's like everything. Like this out here. This is everything that I've been wanting. I needed to see what this is like. I know that he can talk just like me, and it's a team. Like I think you've seen that. Yeah. Like it's.
I mean, I've been talking to you for a while on and off, and it's just, but the key for me and for Jay is just, for me specifically, it's been relentless post 3 to 5 to 7 videos a day, every day since I've been home, every single day. And then this is,
yeah.
I mean, you saw it because we went over and we looked at the new building today, and none
this
of us
is all
between
inspirational to me.
Me, Nelson, and Eddie, right, the 3 of us. And Jason, 2 years ago, we were in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
So my main thing is I thought I was going to go to the feds and hear crazy stories. Come to find out, I had one of the crazier stories majority of the time.
You have the craziest.
And everybody loved my story in prison. I'm like, how the fuck is everybody wanting to listen to my story?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that crazy. So I had some people in there talking me into start writing a book and movie script and everything else. And I didn't ask for it. Literally, all these big dudes from different races were like, listen, nah, fuck that. We're going to put you in play. So they put me in play with a lot of big people. So now I'm in talks with a guy named Kirkland, which is one of 50's main guys, producer, screenwriter. So we've been working on something really, really big. And we just had a phone call a meeting last night. And so we're waiting on a pretty big thing to come through. I don't know if y'all know the Netflix thing just happened, Warner Brothers, and there's some other stuff going on with AI.
Yeah.
So it's postponed this deal since July. Since July, it has been postponed. But my thing is my story blew up on social media.
Yeah.
And it's just been blowing up. And he did the federal prison tip thing. Now I've gone to where we're doing the podcast, helping other people, put them on top. But my main avenue has always been getting into entertainment part. Yeah, no, we're doing something for entertainment thing. We're doing a casting thing. So I got in with this company that produces shows for some big networks.
Man.
And
that's the man.
So if you see my thing, I do casting calls a lot because they had found him. And we run ads to fill their things or whatever. So, and then they want us apart. And then they're talking about doing my own reality show. And
that's fucking badass.
So we're doing some other stuff. Nelson's already recorded. I go Monday. He goes Tuesday.
And then I signed a deal with Shondaland for after prison success thing that Ian Bick and I are both doing next spring. So that'll be my 3rd. Well, I don't know if we count this, but it's either 3 or 4 docuseries.
Yeah. So then I'm working on also a project that is going to be a reality show. And I had a meeting last night with somebody pretty big, and they're full on because there's this new platform that they're selling stuff on. See, there's a lot of ways to make money.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff going on.
I'm a fucking sponge, man.
The thing that people got to understand is it's all about connection. Sometimes you have to give to get. Okay. Yeah. You meet people that open up doors. Yeah. Like Aaron. I love Aaron a lot. So I've already plugged him in with some big people. I plugged some other people in. I try to get Aaron in on this play that I got us in on. And that's the thing about it. You don't know who you're going to bump into.
Yeah.
You might bump into somebody and you're going to be like, I got somebody just for you.
They also might call you Hug a Thug because when me and Eric Spears started doing that other podcast.
I already had people calling me trying to tell me like who I need to be careful of. Motherfucker, I've always moved by the way I want to. Mm-hmm. I do what I want to. Like there's never been, I'm not a part of that team. I'm not a part of that team. I'm just cool with both.
Yep.
I'm one of the boys, but I'm not one of the boys.
I go get on this cop podcast.
Yeah,
we call the pig. The DA guy called the pig in the plug.
I feel like everyone has crazy parts of life as long as you're not a rat. That's all I don't fuck with. I don't like that shit.
Rats and chomos.
Yeah,
So
rats and
my
chomos.
my main thing about it is you got to realize we're all the same.
Absolutely.
We just choose a different path.
Yes.
You wanted to go that way. I wanted to go this way.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. Okay, just because you want to do it this way, I want to go that way, doesn't make you good or bad. Because a lot of cops I know do bad stuff.
Absolutely.
But also, you said you had a drug problem for a little bit. Right?
I was in rehab twice.
That could you got into rehab twice. That could have gone the other way for you. You could have ended up going down this route.
I was in the army.
You could have,
and I never did drugs.
You could have gone.
Yeah.
You could have gone to prison for a drug thing.
Yeah.
Instead of been a prison correctional officer.
I always think about that shit. That's why that's why I was talking to Aaron a lot. A lot of our childhoods were similar. It's just the army was my one good choice, but I made a lot of bad choices while in. That's why I ended up in rehab. You know, it's just what it is. Just a couple good choices, but I made bad choices while I was doing good choices. That's really all the difference is.
All right.
Dude, we go for days.
Where can we find out more about Gio?
On Gio the Legend 89 on all platforms.
Gio the Legend 89 on all platforms. I'm Kyle with Federal Prison Tips.
Jason with 8UpJ.
We'll see you next time at
appreciate this.
10coastpodcast.com.